one thing I just want to clarify is that there's this common misconception that there's this false choice between is it good for me or is it going to taste good? You know, that am I going to, you know, as a joke, the old joke, am I going to live longer or is it just going to seem longer if I eat healthy food? And one of the things that I love about what you're doing is that we've found that the best way to make healthy food taste good is to work with great chefs, not necessarily health food chefs or whatever, but great chefs, and then say work within these parameters, and then the food can be delicious and nutritious. You don't have to make a false choice. And I also wanted to respond to David, to what you said. I totally agree with you that when we go to, you know, these false foods like margarine and artificial sugar and so on, that was not a good direction. But at the same time, it's not necessarily true that butter is a good choice either. And there's a, you know, there's this kind of often repeated, almost become a meme lately, that Americans have been told to eat low fat, they're fatter than ever, so low fat has failed, so, you know, we should do other things. First of all, the problem is that when people began eating lower fat foods, they were often eating higher sugar foods, and so trading one bad thing for another is not a good choice. But also, I went back to the USDA and said, what have Americans been doing since 1950? Are we really eating less fat? And it turns out that every decade since 1950, Americans have been eating more fat, more sugar, more calories, and more meat. And to be precise, 67% more fat, even though we've been told to eat less fat, we're actually eating 67% more fat, 39% more sugar, 57 pounds more meat, and 800 calories more per capita.
And yet we're living longer every year.
Yeah, well, that's another issue. But the point is that it's no surprise why we're gaining weight. It's not because we're eating too little fat. We're actually eating more than ever. And so I just want to clarify that.
Yeah.